I spent hundreds of dollars on new makeup, and I also got my wisdom teeth out last week. So I have a lot to catch up on. We're going to play with some new makeup, some things that have just been announced and shown. So I'm super duper excited. Let's dive in. Okay, you guys, first of all, let me address the elephant in the room. I still have a bruise. Look at this. Ah! You should see the other guy. Just kidding. Just kidding. But anyways, I did just take my ibuprofen and I'm feeling better. So I want to play it with some makeup. I have the new Blend Money Masterclass collection. We've got the Glaminatrix Timeless Tones palette. I've got the TIRTIR foundation, the TIRTIR concealer, Dior blush. We've got the Prada highlighter. I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars, so we're gonna put it to the test, see what I think. So I need to slap on some concealer. This face is feeling a little bit flawed right now, but we're gonna make it look good. We're gonna go from 0 to 100. So I have the new TIRTIR concealer, and I've been trying to figure out what the heck this is. So it's called the Glide and Hide Blurring Concealer. It retails for $16, and we have 20 shades. So it says, meet the TIRTIR Glide and Hide Blurring Concealer, a multi-use 2-in-1 solution designed to perfect every contour with a creamy liquid tint to brighten and a silky balm to blur. This featherlight buildable concealer smooths, sculpts, and hydrates for up to 72 hours. And it says it delivers seamless radiance with zero creasing or transfer. So it has two sides to it, which I don't know if I've ever really seen a concealer like this. And I'm not actually even sure which part goes where. I was trying to do some reading, but I'm also impatient. And these eye bags are designer, so I'm just going to directly apply this under my eye, and we're just going to see what happens. I did try the liquid part in yesterday's video. I wasn't filming, though, my makeup application as much yesterday because I was up late. So this is my second time actually trying out this concealer, but I haven't tried out the lipstick looking side of it. And I got it in the shade 6 because I couldn't figure out what shade I was, and I feel like it's a little bit light, but the foundation shade I got is okay. I think it's like my perfect match, so it kind of helps blend out the concealers, and I think we'll be okay. But this stick side definitely feels a little bit tuggy, but it's blending out quite effortlessly. Do you feel like it's blurring? I don't know if I would call it blurring, but it's definitely quite seamlessly blending into my skin. I'm just going to avoid putting makeup on the bruise area because it's a little bit tender. And so I don't really feel like pressing on it with a foundation brush or anything like that. But there is the concealer. And then I think I might go on with the liquid after I apply some foundation. So the foundation is, I think this is a reformulated one. It's the Mask Fit Red Foundation, retails for $27. It says Bold Radiance Reimagine. Experience instant luminosity with the TIRTIR Mask Fit Red Foundation, a radiant liquid foundation inspired by the iconic red cushion. With a second skin feel and satin glow, this foundation delivers breathable, transfer-proof coverage that lasts up to 72 hours, available in 30 tailored shades for flawless skin that looks as good as it feels. I will say I did wear this yesterday. It felt very, I don't want to say it was like stuck to my skin, but it definitely felt like it was going to stay put. So if you're kind of doing like makeup for like a special occasion or something like that, you might really like this. So let's put it on one half of my face and then you guys can see the difference. But I think this is a really good shade match. I got 33N, and I know some people love it's called the cushion version of this red foundation. For me, it's nice. It's definitely quite foolproof. And I think that if you're doing like special occasion makeup, this is really good stuff. But I haven't quite like sold my soul to the TIRTIR foundation yet, but I get why it's hype. Look at, like, that's so flawless looking, and it does have a satin vibe. So yeah, we'll see how it lasts. I'm excited to wear it all day since I'm actually doing my makeup quite early this morning, but it does look quite flawless. It really like evens out your skin. Looks like it has a good amount of coverage. I wouldn't say full, but definitely like buildable, medium, probably buildable to a full if I put on more, but I'm really not wanting to put on too much foundation today. But it looks really good. So let's finish up this side. Okay, so as you can see, this is just my face with some moisturizer, the one side, the solid side of the TIRTIR concealer, and then the Mask Fit foundation. So it looks really good. What do you guys think? I want to know, what do you guys think about every influencer, every large influencer basically being in South Korea? If it's not TIRTIR taking them, I feel like every influencer is going to South Korea on a brand trip these days. And I am nosy. I want to know what you guys think. Obviously, the hype is real with these new brands, or not new brands, but kind of like newer to the US market, I guess, because for a long time, I feel like East Asian brands kind of ignored deeper skin tones. And of course, I don't really play too much in the K-beauty skincare and makeup lines, but I feel like I've definitely noticed more of an effort to cater to deeper complexions. I don't know that I can speak for everyone, obviously, because I don't know every K-beauty brand. I don't know every K-beauty product. I don't know what's out there that people wish would cater more to their different complexions. I can only really speak for myself. And I feel like TIRTIR, for me, is one of the more viral K-beauty products that is inclusive. And I know, well, I don't know for sure, but I feel like just from what I've seen online, there was definitely a lot of conversation around them being more inclusive that drove them to expanding their foundation lines. I'm happy about that. And I feel like they have done a lot to show that they care about other skin tones, not just light complexions. So you guys will have to let me know if you also feel influenced by that, or if it's just like too little too late, or is it better late than never? I would love to pick your brain about it, obviously, because I'm not going on brand trips with TIRTIR, so I feel like it's a fun discussion that we can actually have in the comments. And yeah, I'm always curious to see what you guys think. But so far, looking so good. I just threw on my Sigma eyeshadow primer because I love it. And let me go ahead and hop off camera, do my brows and powder on my under eyes, and I will be right back to try out the new eyeshadow palette from Glaminatrix. Okay, so my lips feel so dry, so before I get into the eyeshadow palette, I want to play with this NYX. This is the Smooshy Matte Lip Balm, and I got it in the shade Soft Smile. And I was just so curious because I saw so many people posting about it. I was gonna pass, but I was so curious. So let's go ahead and line my lips and try out this product. So I'm going to use Limitless Brown from Makeup Forever. This TIRTIR foundation just feels like it's life-proof. It does not budge at all. Anyway, I'm going to squeeze some of this out. Let's see. It has a nice scent to it. The fact that it somehow like mattifies and still hydrates the lips is quite trippy. I kind of get why people are into this. It feels really soft. It looks blurring on the lips. I was gonna maybe top it with some Blend Bunny lip oil, but I'm gonna see how it does while we apply the eyeshadow. So now let's get into the eyeshadow portion. Glaminatrix sent me this beautiful palette. So this is their Timeless Tones palette, and it's kind of inspired by the vintage like china. I saw her post a beautiful picture of like some teacups, and it looks so lovely. So it's a beautiful cool tone palette. I want to get into close-ups and swatches because I did get some for you guys. And just to let you know a little bit about this palette, and of course we need to talk about some of the swatches as well. So this palette is going to launch on the 8th of June at 8 a.m. AEST, which is Saturday the 7th, at 6 p.m. EST, which is 5 p.m. Central, which is my time zone. And this is inspired by vintage tones. It's similar to Barely Basic, but more cool tone, and it still has 4 iridescence, different from Barely Basic, only it is a horizontal layout, like Nearly Natural. And there's also a 8-piece brush set that's launching with this collection. So I'm going to use the eyeshadow brushes as well today because I'm so curious. And I saw the eyeshadow brushes, I think, retail for about 75 USD. I'll have all the information in the description box, of course. But let's look at the swatches here. So we've got some beautiful mattes, some beautiful shimmers. We've got a total of 20 eyeshadows. We've got 8 shimmers, and then we have 12 matte shades. And the first shade is Classy, which is a beautiful pink flip shadow. And then Lady is a bone colored matte. Sophisticated is a cool tone taupe. Tasteful is a deep chocolate brown. Dignified is a plummy, silvery, shifty shadow. Effortless is a iridescent shade with a green shift. Glamour is a mint. Classic is a very cool tone green. Vintage is a dark green shade. Everlasting is a shifty shade that goes from like brown to green. Expensive is a flaky feeling shadow that shifts from like purples to blue. Polish is another cool tone taupe shade. Elegant is a cool tone mid-tone blue. Suave is a navy color. Exquisite is a beautiful multi-chrome feeling shadow. It also shifts from blue to purple, but it's like a darker blue shade. And then we have Delicate, which is a beautiful like white gold shadow. Refined is another light bone colored matte. Vogue is a medium brown. Chic is a black shade, and then Grace is the only deep shimmer with lots of silver sparkles in it. A different kind of palette. It honestly reminds me a little bit of Blend Bunny's Longing palette, which we kind of talked about recently, so that one comes to mind. But if you are a big fan of Glaminatrix formula, which I know a lot of people are, then you might want to check this one out. So I'm so excited. I want to do a blue eyeshadow look, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I also have the little brushes, and they are in this little case. But the brush is really nice. I'm very excited to play with them. What I love about it and what stands out to me is these all seem quite small, so it's going to be really nice if you have a smaller eyelid like I do. It's going to be really nice to be more detailed with these brushes. So I want to dive in. Let's start off with the shade Elegant, and I think I'm going to use this little blender type brush. I think that's going to work really nicely with placing the Elegant shade into the crease. And from what I remember, Glaminatrix has really nice pigmented eyeshadows, so I think we're gonna get a really nice pigmented eye look today. Okay, so that shade is looking super pretty. Now I want to go into the shade called Suave, and we're gonna put that on the outer part of the crease. And I just want to use it to deepen up the eye look. Okay, so that's not deepening it up as much as I thought, but I will go ahead and add more. First, I want to play with some shimmers. So I think on my eyelid, I want to use the shade Exquisite because it just looks so pretty. And then we might bring in a little bit of Expensive or maybe Everlasting. Just we'll see how it goes. So yeah, let's start off there. So far, I've only been using the one brush from the eyeshadow brush set. So let's use this one for the lid, and let's go ahead and start off with Exquisite on this brush, and I'll show you guys how shifty the shadow is. Look at how pretty that blue is. Okay, so I'm loving how this blue is looking, so I'm going to just flip the brush over and go into Expensive, and I'm going to spray it, and I'm going to put just a little bit right here on the inner portion of my eyelid. It's a very flaky shadow, and it's definitely more of like a purple shift with some blue in it. So it's just adding a little bit of a different kind of flip to it. This is definitely more of a grungier look than what I usually do, but I wanted to play with blue eyeshadow today. So that's what we have so far. I'm going to line the lower lash line so I can finish up this look. Okay, so I did get this Laura Mercier eye pencil in Blue Marina from Creators and Friends in Florida this last month, I think. No, 2 months ago. And so I wanted to use it in the waterline. It goes perfectly with this look. And here's the part I'm really excited for with this brush set are these little brushes. Do you see these cutie little brushes for detailed looks? These are going to be perfect for under the eye. So I'm going to start off with this one, which is a little dome shaped guy. And I'm going to go into the shade Elegant. And we're just going to run that right along the lower lash line. I don't know if you guys are like me, but when it comes to cool tones, I get really nervous because I feel like they make my eyes look so kind of, I don't know, muted or just a little bit more like I haven't gotten enough sleep in a day. So I'm trying really hard to keep it very close to the waterline and not drag it down too much. Whereas sometimes if I'm working with a more colorful palette that's less cool toned, I don't mind like bringing the eyeshadow further down, but I'm trying to keep it really tight, and this size pencil is really helping me with that. And then I'm going to take the really teeny tiny one and go into the shade Expensive, and of course we need to use this as our inner corner shade. So this shade Expensive is a more chunky, more flaky eyeshadow. So if you can see, there's a little flake on my actual brush, so I want to be careful not to have it be too much fallout. So I sprayed it quite well, and I'm just slowly trying to blend that into my inner corner and my waterline. I feel like a beautiful peacock, and now I want to take the little brush that I was using, and I'm going to go into Suave, which again is that more navy color, and I'm just gonna run that on the outer corner and also just bring it down into the waterline just a little bit. I was contemplating if I should use the black shadow, but I think I'm gonna skip. I think I'm just gonna use the blue and leave it and not make it too dark. And then I want to take this same brush and I want to go into the shade Classic, which is a really pretty green, and I just want to run that right here just to add a little bit more of depth. And I want to try my finger with shade Exquisite. I'm just gonna kind of tap it on a little bit. But yeah, this is the look. I'm digging the vibe. I definitely need to throw on mascara and stuff, so I'll do that off camera. But let's get into testing out the blushes and highlighters. So I did say I have the new Blend Bunny blush palette. This is freaking huge, and I did use it yesterday. I also have this one, which is the Luster palette, and I've been dying to use my Prada highlighter. Bought myself that as a treat because of course I deserve it. And then this is the Dior blush I also bought, and I have the NARS highlighter as well. So let's see. Actually, that's the Dior lip oil, my bad. I bought this, I couldn't help it. I'll link as much as I can down below, but look at this color. I just wanted this. I thought this would be fun to keep in my purse, and it's a lemon shade, or it's called lemon something. Let's see if it smells like lemon. Ooh, nice. I just thought this was so cute. I couldn't help it. Did I need a Dior lip gloss? Absolutely not. Did I buy it anyway? Yes, 100%. So I bought the Dior blush stick in the shade Cherry. I was gonna get something a little bit more neutral, but honestly, I was like, I feel like this is so me. So I got this shade, but I feel like it's a little too warm for this look, so I'm probably gonna have to hold off on that. But how pretty is this? I just am now such a Dior girly. No, I'm not, but I wanted it. And then these are the two highlighters, so let's dig into those. But first we need to pick a blush, and I think I'm just gonna go with the Blend Bunny one because, I mean, look at this option freaking buffet right here of blushes. I also got 3 of their face brushes, and I used this one yesterday when I was playing with this palette, so I'll do it again. And I think I'm gonna use the shade Heat right here. It's like a beautiful mid-tone rosy shade. This palette is so big, you guys. I can't believe it. It's so wild. I am so happy for Blend Bunny. This feels so luxurious. And look at that shade. It's so pretty. And these brushes are perfect. And it's not like too pigmented all at once. So if you're kind of a blush rookie or you don't like to wear as much blush as I do, you can easily just like build this up. And this brush is so great at applying it perfectly. But look at that pretty pink color. And I'm going to take some more and apply it on this side. And I see kind of a shimmery little shade here called Afterglow. And I'm definitely going to pop on some Afterglow as well. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty that is. It is so pigmented. And just this formula is glorious. I feel like it totally makes sense that this was created by a professional makeup artist. Okay, so I'm going to take the shade called Afterglow, which is a really pretty kind of glowy blush. And I just want to pop just a little bit of that on. Oh, yep. That's so pretty. So I want to use the Luster palette as well for highlight. But since I have so many new highlighters to try out, I'm probably going to stick with that instead of using something from Blend Bunny. Okay, so let's talk highlighters. These are both from kind of high-end brands. Prada is a luxury beauty brand, and this is the shade 01, I believe. It's a beautiful champagne color, and I was just so curious. So I haven't unswatched this yet. It definitely smells like the Prada foundation, if you're familiar with it. And it's just a beautiful, very like buttery champagne shimmer shade. It's blending out quite nicely. It looks about as good as I thought it was going to. It's definitely a little bit light, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, it definitely has that Prada foundation smell, which I thought was quite interesting. And then NARS, they had like 6 or 7 shades, and I got the shade Electra, so I haven't looked at this yet. It's a champagne as well. Ooh, okay, this one feels a lot lighter feeling, but look at that. It is so metallic-y feeling. And so there are the 2 shades. And just a little bit different, but overall they both blend quite nicely. So we'll have to try one on each cheek, I think. I'm that curious, so I want to know. And we'll even see if you guys can tell which one's which. I'll apply both and then I'll tell you which one's on which cheek. Let's do a little social experiment. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, okay. Wow. Okay. Interesting. This is the other one. Interesting. Don't want to mix up the brushes. Okay, so vote. Which one, pause the video, which one just like first impressions jumps out to you? I think based off of my reaction, you know which one jumped out to me. It was definitely this one. Just has that like intense glow to it. This one more is a lit from within vibe. I'm definitely going to have to keep playing with them to decide which one I like, or maybe I like both, but this is the NARS side. Kind of surprised. And then this is the Prada side. So $90 versus like, how much was this NARS highlighter? Let's double check so that we don't spread misinformation. So this NARS highlighter retails for $42. It's like $50 less than the Prada highlight. So there's something to consider there. But first impression, this one definitely jumped out at me. Okay, so the next thing I want to test out is from TIRTIR as well. This is the Mask Fit Waterproof Setting Spray. I can't remember if they had some kind of bundle deal going with this because I am definitely not trying to buy setting sprays this year, but I was like, oh, I'm curious. So let's go ahead and spray this and then we can talk about some of the claims of this setting spray. Okay, so this product is currently sold out on the TIRTIR website. I don't know if these products already came to Amazon, so if they're available on Amazon, I'll throw up links for you down below. But this retails for $15 and it says stay flawless no matter what. Lock in your look with the TIRTIR Mask Fit Waterproof Setting Spray, a high-performance setting mist designed to keep your makeup fresh, smudge-proof, and transfer-resistant with its 4 multi-proof technology. This setting spray is waterproof, sweat-proof, transfer-proof, and even resistant to pool chlorine. Oh my gosh, ensuring your makeup stays flawless all day. The ultra-fine mist delivers even coverage with a semi-matte finish, making it the perfect final step in your beauty routine. That's intense, y'all. I'm so curious. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe this needs to be a wear test. Maybe this needs to be a wear test on the foundation, the concealer, and the setting spray. I could do it. It's about 10:49 in the morning right now, so I have a pretty busy day. I've got dance with my daughter, so I'll probably end up taking this makeup off like 10, 11 at night. That's my usual routine, so let's put it to the test. Let's see how long it lasts. And then the last thing I want to test out today is this random mascara. I saw somebody say that this might be their new favorite, and I love a good drugstore mascara. So this is the Blackest Black Colossal Bubble Mascara from Maybelline. It's buildable, inflated volume, sleek separation, and yeah, this was quite affordable. So I want to see what the deal with this is, and let's go ahead and open it. Okay, let's see what this mascara does. We gotta curl the lashes. Okay, let's see if this is any good, if I think you guys need to run out and buy it. So it looks like it's a interesting applicator. It has like a twist on the bristles to it, and it's not overly gigantic, so I'm happy about that because I really don't like really, really big mascara ones. It's doing a good job of separating my lashes. Okay, so here's the side with the mascara, here's the side without the mascara. I definitely feel like it did a good job of defining my lashes, separating them out. It's not doing anything as far as giving them more volume, but I like to go one layer at a time. So let's wait until this one dries down and I'll start applying a first coat on this side, and then we'll do second layer and we'll just see how well 2 coats build up with this mascara. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a second layer here. Let's see. Okay, so I think it's giving some great length, some really great separation, but if you like a volumizing mascara, I don't think this is gonna be the one for you. I'm a little surprised. I'm definitely like you guys, I also get influenced by other creators, and so when somebody says like, oh my gosh, this is a great mascara, I also then end up being influenced to try it. Personally, I feel like it's fine. Is it my favorite? No, but it's a good drugstore mascara. If you're on the hunt and you want to try something new, it might be nice, but it's not blowing my mind by any means. I like the separation though, I will say that. And now the look is finally done. I'm going to finish up my hair, throw on some earrings, and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look and give you some first impressions and reviews on the makeup I tested out today. Okay, friends, so here is the finished look. What do we think? I really love it so, so much. And it all ended up working out really well. So let's go ahead and just talk about first impressions, and then I'll do some check-ins throughout the day, just kind of see how the makeup is wearing. Of course, we started off with the TIRTIR foundation and concealer. I will say, kind of like when I started using both of these products, I'm not fully on board on the TIRTIR hype train just yet. I've tried all of the different cushion foundations. I do feel like they wear really well, they are long lasting, and they definitely feel like you're putting on a very flawless foundation. I just want to wear this one more. I'm going to wear it all day today, and I'll keep telling you guys my thoughts as the day progresses. But first impressions, these both feel like very flawless, foolproof products. And now that we've locked it all in with the Mask Fit setting spray, I'm very curious to see how long wearing this combo is. There's a lot of claims. It says everything's going to be like waterproof and sweat-proof and eco-proof and life-proof. So I'll keep you guys posted. But overall, I think this whole routine is under $60. So I'm very, very curious to see how it all fares as the day goes on. Overall, I think the shades worked out really well for me as far as the foundation and concealer go. I am wearing 33 in the foundation and the shade 6 in the concealer. I wish I'd gone a little bit darker with the concealer, but at the time I was trying to buy it, I was having a hard time figuring out my shade. So did the best I could, but I did see a chart on their website that might be a little bit more helpful in case you guys are trying to narrow things down. As far as the concealer formulas with the 2 different options, I'm definitely curious, but I did use both today and the under eyes do look really good. And I do love a cream concealer, so very, very curious to see how that all pans out. Now, as far as not new products today, I just used my Chanel cream bronzer and my Charlotte Tilbury powder, as well as my Dior bronzer for the bronzer and powders today. Those were just products I already have. I don't really have a new bronzer to try out, so that was that on that. And then as far as the lip product goes, I really like this color. This is the NYX Smooshy Matte Lip Balm. It does still feel quite balmy. It's not super duper hydrating like a lip oil would be, but it definitely does the job. And I think this is kind of fun. It's a little innovative, a little bit different. Remember, they're like liquid lip glossy products that were popular like a couple months ago. NYX just knows, you know, to come out with like a new innovation here and there every couple of months just to keep people kind of interested in the brand. So yeah, I think this is fun. I know there's a bunch of shades. I probably won't buy any more, but this is cute. If you like a matte lip, I think you're going to really enjoy this, and it's a little bit different from having a liquid lipstick. So that's kind of my thought there. As far as the highlighters go, this is so fun. I feel like highlighters are back and people are coming out with them in the drove. So these 2 definitely caught my eye. I also recently picked up the Benefit highlighter that they came out with. It's like a cream highlighter. I was so curious. I couldn't help myself, but I feel like the winner of this showdown for me is the NARS one, but obviously this is just my first time using it. As far as like price and stuff goes, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with this one, so I cannot wait to keep using this. But the Prada one, of course, just looks very sophisticated and fancy. So yeah, we'll have to see which one impresses me in the end after wearing them a few times, but I just love how like bam that NARS highlighter is, and it like melted into my skin. So that's definitely scoring points for me. So now this is my second time using the Blend Money Masterclass blush palette, and it's lovely. It's a lovely palette. I'm very curious how everyday makeup connoisseurs are going to react to this, because personally, I feel like it's a little bulky, and I think this is gonna be maybe great for a makeup artist. And I think these pans are magnetized, so you could like make some kind of custom situation with this, or you could like split it with friends if you want like different colors. But I'm curious to see who's gonna gravitate towards this, because it's quite heavy. So if, as a makeup artist, you would think like in your kit, this is gonna be quite hefty, but I guess there's not really a better way to store powder blushes anyway. So what do I know? I'm not a professional makeup artist, but for me as a makeup lover that also loves blush, I am so happy with this. I think the formulas are beautiful. I can't wait to play with all the colors. I'm slowly making my way through the palette. So this is absolutely beautiful. And if you just want a one-stop shop for your blushes. This might be the thing for you to check out, and it's already on the Blend Money website, so I will link it down below for you guys. And as far as the Maybelline Bubble Mascara goes, it's fine. It's a great mascara for the drugstore. I don't think you need to throw away all your other mascaras and run out and buy this one, but if you're at Target or you're at Walmart or you're at Ulta and you see this and you're curious to try it, I don't think it's horrible. I think it did a decent job with my lashes, so those are my thoughts on that. Now, as far as the new goodies from Glaminatrix, like I said, it's launching on Saturday at 5 p.m. Central Time, so the brushes are lovely. These were my first time using them, of course, so I don't really have any thoughts on how these are gonna wash and stuff like that, but I don't anticipate them being a problem. And I don't usually wash my brushes after every use when it comes to eyeshadow. I usually will use the Sigma color switch, or I will use the Cinema Secrets brush cleaner, and then after a few uses, that's when I wash them with soap and water. So I'll keep you posted, but I don't anticipate any issues with that. And then as far as the eyeshadow palette goes, I feel like cool tones are really in, and every single brand is of course coming out with their version of a cool tone eyeshadow palette. And I feel like it's been a hot second since I've seen something like this from Glaminatrix. I actually don't know if I've ever seen them do a color story like this, so I think it's a fun addition to their lineup. I really enjoyed their eyeshadow formula. It is a very nice, soft, matte eyeshadow formula and a really nice creamy shimmer. Not too creamy to the point where it's like almost like feels like a putty. It's definitely a really nice metallic that you can build up on, and it works really well if you spray it. So depending on your preference, I think this is a great formula, and the packaging is so cute. I really see them trying to be a little bit different with their packaging, and I think they really nailed it. Look at the back too, like this detail, it is kind of like raised, like there's definitely like some texture to the outer parameter here with the flowers, so they really upgraded. They did such a fun job with this, and I really enjoy this. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. I will also link the Glaminatrix website down below. I also have a discount code with them. It's just KH Makeup, and I do have discount codes with some of the brands I featured in today's video, so all that information will be in the description box. I'm gonna go ahead and head out, but I'll be back for some check-ins. And yeah, kind of bye, but also not really. But I'll see you in a little bit. Hi, I'm standing in front of my patio door, so try not to get my whole house and the mess in the background, but this is what my skin is looking like so far. Of course, my lip balm's gone, and I think I blew my nose, and I had pasta for lunch, so a lot of the makeup is off of my nose and this area, but everything looks pretty good. I really like this eyeshadow, and blush looks good. The highlighters are looking bomb. Overall, I think everything looks really nice. So this is a check-in. Totally forgot to check the time. I think it is, let me check my computer. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, so it's been about 2 hours since I put this makeup on. We'll see how it continues to wear throughout the day. Okay, so I'm in the Target drive up, and it's 5:35, and this is how we're doing so far with my makeup. And yeah, I really like how it's holding up. The shade's a little warm. I feel like that always happens to me, so it's not the end of the world, but everything's doing really well, other than, of course, my nose. That makeup is gone, but really liking this so far. Okay, friends, it is 10:49. It's almost 11. I'm totally ready to take this makeup off. But keep in mind, I've been outside. I went to dance. I gave my kid a bath. I took a nap. Like, this makeup has held up really well. The blush is still there. The highlighters. I think it's definitely that setting spray from TIRTIR. And the foundation's been holding up really nicely. It's a little bit glowy, but I've had this on for over 12 hours now. So, well, yeah, over 12 hours, right? Because I put it on, my babysitter came at like 9:30. So
I've had this makeup on for quite some time, but I'm ready to take it off. I'm ready to wash it off. I hope this video is helpful. I hope you like the check-ins. Sorry I'm talking quietly because everybody's asleep. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up and watch my eyeshadow palette collection video. If you haven't seen it, it's 2.5 hours long. And I personally think it's awesome. Okay, love you guys. Bye.